Welcome to Try to Thrive, the podcast where passion meets endurance and every finish line is just the beginning. We're here to inspire, challenge, and share our journey through swim, bike, run, and beyond.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Try to Thrive. Today we are in a new studio, brand new, as you can see, perfect wall behind us with some nature and birds. But that's not the most important thing. Today I have a guest who is very interesting and she's totally into triathlon, into sports. And I'm so excited to talk with her about her life connected to sports and how she manages to train so much and to be also so good, because I can tell you she is better than many men in what she's doing. She's faster than many men in running, cycling, and even swimming, even though she's relatively new to swimming. She's not swimming that long, but we will get to that in a few minutes. First of all, welcome to our podcast, Olga. I got to know you just by accident when we met at Lanz Corona. Basically, we were not even riding in the same group ride, but then we met on top and we just got to know each other.
Yeah.
And I remember when I saw your results from the Ironman 70.3 in Kraków, and I knew before that you are very quick, but when I saw it, I thought like, wow, that is very, very fast. I think you were in the top 20 of women, and you were much faster than I was. Even on the bike, you were also much faster than I was. I think you were 2 hours and 30 minutes.
To be honest, I don't remember.
What was it? Yeah, 2 hours, 30 minutes I think you had. I also don't remember exactly, but I think you were faster than I was. And that was very, very impressive. My first question is, how did you get to the sport? How did your sports journey start? And what kept you going so much to be so good at what you're doing now?
Thanks for that question. So it's not like I was doing sport for the whole of life. I was rather the person who during school times I was avoiding this subject, physical activities. No, this was definitely not me. So I was even saying that when I'm done with this physical activities at school, like I can celebrate the weekend.
Okay.
So I was rather avoiding. I was not good at it. I was rather studying other stuff like maths, Polish, chemistry, and so on. And this was I was rather avoiding. I did something. I liked hiking. I used to ski since I was a child, but that was it. And when I started, I think it was when I finished studies. I mean the university studies. I just had some time, so I started running. And I started being more and more into, but this was like I decided, how about going for a independence run. So it's 11. It was 11 kilometers for the 11th of November. So I signed in. Then my friend told me, but how about before running 5K? Because she had something like at her university, so I said, okay, it's a week, so I can do. So I was training a week for that 5K. Then I was training whole month because it was a month for independence run, and I did it. And I was happy that I finished. So the completion was the goal. I was happy that I finished, but then I thought, okay, so I was training for a month and I didn't want it to be a waste. So I continued training, but then I thought that it's not healthy to go running when it's winter or autumn. So I went to the gym to do running 2 or 3 times a week. And then the next year I also did it. I participated in the run and I also participated in a 3 months run. like you also did, bieg trzech kopców. And after this run, I thought, I need to improve something. I need to improve my technique or something. And I was researching the groups in Kraków, like where I can join a group. Maybe there's a trainer. They will tell me how to improve the technique. And I joined some runs in Nowa Huta in that stadium, and they were training on Wednesday. And the trainer, Karolina, she asked me how many times a week you want to train, and I can prepare your plan. And then I had time only for 2 times a week, but I thought that it would be not good to say that only two days. So I thought, okay, maybe 3 times a week. And I received the plan, so I was following it. And that times I was improving a lot. I think I really improved a lot, because when you jump from really easy runs then to do some intervals, some stuff like that, you improve a lot. But also I got some injuries, traumas, because it was too fast, and my body was definitely not prepared for training. The previous life I was rather studying and avoiding such stuff. So so this is how it started, and I was more and more into.
Let's talk a little bit more about the beginning, because you had now the transition to how you got so good now. Do you remember how fast you were compared to today?
So
when you did, for example, the 5K run?
Okay, so I can say, but I didn't have a watch to measure that. And now I remember that it was below 25 minutes, but at the same time, I do not know if it was exactly 5 kilometers run or 4.7 or 5.3, because it may be like that on such runs. If they do not have any attests, it may be like this. But I think if it was for the beginning, if I was below 25 minutes for 5K, this is good.
Really
so I
good,
think I had a good start.
So it took you 1 month of training for this 5K?
No, 1 week. One week easy. 1 week easy. 1 week of training, yes. And 1 month before Independence Run. Before, I think I did, I don't know, maybe 3 times I went, or 5 times I went running. I was studying in AGH University. So it is next to Błonia in Kraków. So maybe I did 2 or 3 times around Błonia, but this was it.
Okay, so you started with the 5K, then you trained for 1 month for the Independence Run.
Independence Run.
Do you remember more or less how fast you were able to run then? Because I think the Independence Run in Krakow, it also is very hilly, right? It's a hilly route.
I think that time it wasn't so hilly. It was for sure on the road, because now they changed, and it was one time on the mount, on the Kopec, so it was not only on a paved road, but we can check it. So maybe we can check it.
We will check it.
We can check it for sure. Over than 1 hour, maybe 1 hour and 6 minutes. I also didn't have a watch when I joined this running group. They told me that if you want to do proper trainings, it would be good to have a watch. So I bought a watch. But before it was just I thought that I'm going for 7K run, because I didn't measure it. The only thing I measured when, for example, during winter, I was training in a gym. So I could see my pace, but then it was like I go running, and it was. On the other hand, now I feel that it was also something now it's impossible to repeat. So when I went running, and I was running basing on how I feel, and the number of kilometers was also basing on how I feel, not on my goals, not on measuring the pace, not on measuring the heartbeat. So something which from that point of view is not achievable, because we always measure stuff.
And do you remember if your pace was very consistent, or were you struggling that sometimes you would go too fast and you had to go slower, then you would again go too fast and then slower? Because that's, I think, something a lot of people in the beginning are struggling with when they are starting, and they cannot really run by feel. Was it something you also had?
I think when I made stops, it was rather when there were traffic lights and I needed to do so, or maybe that I wanted. But the thing I remember was I just didn't care about it. Yeah. So this was it. And the second thing is I thought that it's not healthy to do downhills. So it was any downhill. I rather walked.
Okay. So. You started with running, then you had these 2 runs, and then after that you decided to join this club?
I trained myself for a year, and then the next year I signed in for a 3 months run, and after that my muscles hurt so much that I thought I need to improve, I need to repeat. So after a year I joined a group.
And do you remember how you were training when you then started to train with a coach? How did your training change, and how did you feel it? Did you see these results coming easier for you? And what was the change?
So I think that because it was a coach gave the plan, so, and also we did trainings with a group every Wednesday. So what changed? I did it more often, because before I was doing more 2 times a week, then I was doing 3 times, and it was a change. I've never done intervals before, so it was a change, and also I think I improved really quickly comparing to what was before, even comparing to a group, because I joined at such pace, and then after 2 months I was able to join another people who were faster. And I think it happens when you really switch from easy runs to doing intervals training. That gave me a lot at this time.
You told me before your fastest half marathon is in 1 hour 23 minutes.
Yes, exactly.
So how long did it take you to get from your over 60 minutes 11K to 1 hour 23 minutes?
So now it's 8 years.
8 years?
Yes, 8 years.
And how many half marathons have you done in
so I would say that one. I did one in 2020, but it's hard to compare because I did Jurajski half marathon near Kraków, and it's really hilly. So I did 1 hour 35 at that time.
Okay, 1 hour 23. That's a very impressive time.
Thank you.
It's almost 10 minutes faster than my best. 1 hour 32.
But you are more specialized in triathlons, right? So
no, I wouldn't say so.
You wouldn't say?
No, I do triathlon for now 17 months, 18 months.
Really? Because when we met you other, you were a triathlonist. So now I understand you are.
What else am I supposed to say?
when
I'm training for a triathlon. But yeah, no, I'm for sure I'm better at cycling, I think, than long distance running. And I did middle distance running, so 800 meters, 1,500 meters. That would be my discipline.
800 meters, wow.
Yeah, but not half marathon or marathon. So yeah, no, I would say I'm very far away, and I'm one of those men you are leaving behind. And yeah, I'm one of those men who are thinking like, okay, yeah, how can she be so good? And I want to find out now, today, here, and copy it. So, what?
So, I think actually you ask, but the thing is also to give yourself time. I could say that not each season was an improvement, not each season was good. And for example, there were seasons when I was struggling, and I think a year before at the end was good, but for example 2 or 3 years before I didn't see a progress. I had some problems, most probably with ferritin, but not sure for now, and it was like no improvement. So for example, to repeat my results in 10K, which that time I thought it's my best distance, I was waiting 3 years.
Okay.
And really, it took me that time.
So, and this was now recently, like the past 2-3 years, you were struggling, and then this year or at the end of last year, you
I
had
think
this,
the end of last year I'm also happy with. The end of, I think I would say maybe not the end, but the second autumn season was something I felt that I achieved my goals. I'm happy with. So I would say yes. But for example, before I also did a lot. I did trainings, but it was no light in a tunnel. Like it was not like, I'm still not complaining, because a lot of people can say I want to do something like you did, like I did that time, but I didn't saw an improvement, and I was really not happy with, because I did trainings and it was even you ask like how many half marathons I did before, so it's not like I'm taking part in a lot of competitions. And also if I felt that there is no, not my shape, I do not.
Okay, even if you are already registered, you wouldn't.
So a rather different way. I try to register the last possible moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I learned it during COVID times that sometimes it's better not to plan so much. But of course, there are some competitions it's better to register before, because there are no spots, like Kraków half Ironman, or for example, it is cheaper before, but still I want to register the last possible moment to be able to adjust, to be able to change. And yeah, I learned it during the COVID times that we plan a lot and then we couldn't do it. So now I have something in my head, but not registering too much before. Keep my options open.
Yeah,
but
okay.
It's still a risk that there would be no spots.
Do you think that's something that's a key why you're also able to progress so much, that you don't race too much and that you focus more on training, or is it just
Exactly.
a coincidence? What do you think?
Exactly. Like, it's sometimes taking part in competitions should be in our lives, because we need to have a goal, and we also need to check if we are going a good way or not. It's not the only indicator, because sometimes there may be other circumstances. For example, there is 35 degrees and you can do nothing, like you experienced last time. It was hot during this 3 months round.
Yeah, it was.
So this is one thing, and also I like training itself. So when I need to take part in a competition, I need to make rest before. I need to prepare mentally. I need to take that time. So the weekend is fully dedicated to the run, and the weather is great, and you cannot go cycling because you have a competition planned. It's still nice to do it, but not like every weekend, every month. Yeah. And also there were times these competitions make me a little bit nervous, because I have some goals and I want to achieve them, and like the pace I run during the competition is not like I I sometimes cannot imagine how that is possible, but that is possible because before you do some rest. When I'm in a training schedule, I'm not so much rested, then I can do so. We have work, we have other stuff, so it seems impossible. And taking part in competitions makes me a little bit of nervous. So
I think everyone has it a little bit. I think it's also good if you're a little bit nervous, because then first of all, it's important to you and your body knows it's important to you. I have the same feeling, and I think I'm similar to you, that when I have a competition, then for at least 2 days before, I'm totally focused on the competition. I need to relax. I will not be so talkative.
Really?
Yeah, no, not at all.
So for me, it's different. So I know the day before, it's the day without training. I rather do not. Some people do quick runs, not quick but short ones or something.
I usually do that.
You do?
Yeah, just to activate 10 seconds, 15 seconds.
I heard
intervals.
about it, but I do not. I'm just fully into resting. And then, but I'm also a restless person. So, I know I have a day off, so I plan some meeting with friends or something. Okay. So I do stuff.
I can't do that. I need to be at home, sitting, laying, just doing nothing.
Also, why I try not to do any training the day before, because when you do, maybe my foot, maybe I can feel pain, or maybe something is. It makes me think about it, that maybe I have an injury, so maybe this may happen. So I'm rather focused on something else fully, and I do not think at all about.
So that's how you got into running. But as you said before, you're also cycling, but not only cycling, you're also doing triathlon. So how did you end up doing the whole triathlon when you started 8-10 years ago with running?
So I started with running, and then I was doing about cycling. I just do cycling when going to work. Before COVID times, I was going to work every day, so I did it by bike, and I reached every place by bike, even running training. So this was my cycling time. But one thing is, when I had some injuries while running, because I told you I started professional training plan, but my body was really, now I feel it was not prepared for something like that. So from time to time I had some issue with my knee, with something all the time, and there was a time I couldn't run, so I went to a gym for spinning classes or just do weight training instead, to do something instead, because what was in my mind? Week without running, I will lose what I earned. So I tried other stuff. Then it turned out it needed to be a longer break. It was a break more than a month. So I did this spinning in the meantime. So this was kind of preparation. But I was considering triathlon. So I was thinking maybe to buy a bike, and I was researching what kind of bike I need to buy for that. And I read on the internet to buy a triathlon bike, and I'm really happy somehow I bought road bike rather than triathlon one, because it will be a really disaster when I tried on it. So I bought a road bike, and this was in COVID times. So I bought a road bike, and I liked it. I liked it, and I enjoyed going for cycling on my own somewhere, reaching new places. I was really into that. I can go to some places, then I can do uphills. Yeah, I was really into. So I also, except of running, I did from time to time cycling. And yeah, this is how it started. And swimming. So it's in my first and third year of primary school, I was attending swimming classes, so I knew how to swim. But when I was a kid, I gave up. And yeah, I knew, but this was it. And during COVID times, I of course didn't go swimming. But I knew also maybe from time to time I could do, but not very much. And still in 2020, my friend asked me, okay, Olga, you do running, you do cycling. There is a triathlon in Kryspinov, Iron Dragon, maybe you should try. So I read the conditions, how many kilometers, so I knew what is 5K, I knew what it was 20K of cycling, but I couldn't imagine it was 750 meters of swimming. I've never tried to measure how much I can swim, so I just went to a swimming pool and checked if that's possible, because that's possible. So I signed in and I took part in. Finally,
and you won.
No, but I was third in my age category. And finally, it was not the sprint, it was the Olympic. Because due to family issues, I couldn't join on Saturday when the sprint was happening. And I thought, okay, but I paid the fee, I'm signed in, so maybe I can ask the organizer if I can go to the Olympic distance. So I did Olympic, and I thought, okay, I could do 750 meters, so 1,500, maybe that's possible to do within the time limit. And I did. And the rest, I could do the rest.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. And so you started basically only with running, then cycling came, and then at the end you put also swimming into it, and then you stick to it, and now you train for triathlon in general, right?
Yeah.
And then you also had these hard times, or times where you were struggling and you didn't see improvement. But what kept you going when you felt that you don't really improve? Did you also have like these doubts that you should maybe stop, or maybe it's not worth it to do anymore? How did you keep going?
I had that, for example, I thought, okay, I devote so much that I wake up to do, I stick to plan, and why is it happening that like maybe I should give up, but what then? Maybe I should change something, but what to change? What I didn't like, it was taking part in competitions, because I knew that something is not going well. But I just kept the routine and the plan, and it's all about training, not taking part in competitions. So I just kept the routine and
until it worked.
Yeah.
That's very impressive, and we already discussed before off camera that actually there are relatively few women doing like triathlon or even running. If I'm correct, like I think even the last run I was attending, there were only 20% of the people women actually, and it's so sad in my opinion that mostly I have the feeling that a lot of women think that it's more something for men, perhaps. They think like, but we cannot be so fast, or we cannot be so good. But you are the best example that even though that you are a woman, you are much faster than most of the men that are even training a lot. Like I'm also training a lot, yet I'm much slower than you. And so my question for you is, what can you tell to other women that perhaps are listening now to the podcast and seeing your story, doubting their self, they're in the beginning of their sports journey? What advice can you give to them? What can you share with them to help them to stick to it and maybe tell them to join more?
Yeah, I also don't know what's happening, because I also can see that there's less women in all kind of competitions, running and triathlon ones. To be honest, I don't know why. Maybe one reason is that women are maybe a little bit less competitive and they do prefer just other stuff. But to be honest, I do not see a difference. Women are also good at it. One thing is we in most of the cases we have like one route, we have the same start, but it's not like we compete with men. Mm-hmm. We have different category. I also needed to learn it, not to compare myself with men. Oh, I could see men are faster while doing uphill, but it's correct. It should be like that, and we should compare each other. We should compare ourselves with women, and maybe also women are a bit afraid. How is it going with the cycling? There is a big group. Maybe it's a little bit of dangerous, but it's not. It's not. I think women can be as good as men in their category. And also, I heard that on the longer distances there is smaller difference between in comparison to men and
especially
women.
Especially in swimming, I heard that in swimming women
can be really good at swimming, right? Like it's not my main discipline, but I saw women which are like really faster than men. They are, and it's not like men can do something. They need years to be same good.
I think there are even some world records in long distance swimming, like these extreme long distance, ultra swimming, even from women, if I'm not incorrect, but I think it's like that.
It's possible. Also, there were some records when women were maybe the first one to do some challenges, like maybe not La Manche one, but they are, and. They are, and there are examples when some women proved that they could be also on a long distance running. They are.
Yeah. And what is the advice you can give to someone?
Just when they like that, first they really need to like that discipline, just not to force yourself to do, but when they like, just keep going and maybe sign in for your first competition to try. It's not like you need to win, but when you try, you will see if really you are the slowest or where you are, because it's also nice check where you are. If they like, keep going.
Yeah, that's very good advice, and I also think not only women but also men have that sometimes when I talk to people. And they say like, oh yeah, I will train first and then we can meet again for running, for example. They say like, oh, I will not go to a workout with other people because I'm too bad now.
I think what people do bad is judging and comparing yourself with the results of others. For example, basing on social media Strava page, and they see Olga. I had it in my girl colleagues asked. I told them, oh, maybe we can go together. No, I could not go with you because you are too fast. I saw you cycle with the pace 25 kilometers or 30. It's impossible for me, but it is because they only see numbers. It's possible when we do in a group. It's also possible for them because when I started, I also had really bad pace because, for example, I did some stops on the traffic lights. When I need to turn, I make it slower, but it didn't mean that I'm bad.
Yeah.
Like, still. And I think what women tend to do, but maybe not all of them, so comparing to men, they are more self-critical. I think we can also see statistically when people apply for job, like are more self-confident in this. That I could apply even it's something that I need to improve, that I'm not good at, but maybe I will apply. And some people tend, maybe I need some time, I need to upskill. But yeah, so this is one thing that we are like that, but also like looking at the other people numbers and comparing that I'm not good at it. It's not. And also I invited some people. Yeah, we can go running together. I'm really a social person.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that. So when I could do other paces, I can do it slower, but it does not mean that when I'm doing half marathon really fast, I do every time when I run, I do same pace. No, I most often do the easy ones because it's the basic.
Yeah.
Only from time to time you do something more. And you need to do alone, but most of them you could do with others. And for me, it works, like the doing stuff with people, but not all of them. There are some people who want to do it alone. So
I think that's exactly how you say that. Very often people they tend to compare themselves with others, and then, for example, they see your 1 hour 23 minutes half marathon, and
I did it once. Hello.
And they think you do it every single day, and that every single run must be so fast, and that you are just an alien, and that you cannot even be on the same street.
Why?
And especially people that I think have this feeling, and then they feel perhaps bad that they are not so fast, because then there comes this comparing, that I compare myself to others. And that's also something that we want to promote with our podcast, that don't compare yourself to anyone else, just compare yourself to yourself. And as you said, if you like it, just do it, work on it, and every single day, every single week you can become a little bit better. And just take example on people like you that are much faster, but don't try to just be like Olga, like run the same pace like her. It wouldn't really make sense. And then also I see some people that already train. They train always like very, very fast. They tend to have always the same pace. So if they would, let's say they run a 45-minute 10K, somehow every run they do is around 4:30, 4:40, 4:45 maximum. And if they have already a 5-minute pace, then they would say it's a slow run. And me, for example, myself, like very often I run with like 6:30 pace. Usually my slow runs, they are like around 5:30 pace.
I also do like that. That's okay.
I can run very slow, and sometimes it's necessary. And when I run with my heart rate, sometimes I have a heart rate of 130 when I run 5-minute pace. Then I have a heart rate of 140 when I run 6:20 pace. Sometimes it really depends on the day.
You need to adjust also how you slept that night, how you feel, and what you have done before. For example, if I do many trainings, like most of the days I have these easy runs. I'm a little bit recovering from the day before, and I do not see a goal of doing my best every day. It's also part of training to learn it.
Yeah.
To learn not to do your personal best every day, and not to do the fastest possible. Also, it's to learn to train slowly.
Yeah, I think that's a very good sum up of the topic so far. I would like to talk a little bit more in detail about your training, how you train now. if that's okay. So what does a typical training week look like for you?
Okay, so of course it differs during the whole year, because there are periods when you train, when you rest more, especially in autumn when your body needs some rest, and I really do it, and it's really important part, these 3 weeks.
When do you do it? At the end of the year, or?
When after my last competition. I don't know exactly when it's gonna happen this year, but last year I did after the independence run, and it was 3 weeks. So I planned some vacations, not sport ones. Also, I just was focused on other stuff, and it's really important for me mentally. It's something I wait for. I really need it mentally. I'm not bored. And yeah, so I started from the end, but from resting, which is really important. Then it's more of preparation. So I start being into training after these 3 weeks of rest. But when I start, it's slow start. And I have a training plan, and the trainer says, yeah, it's like 8K, then a day rest, something like that, to start being into, not too fast. But then when it's really like training period, I try to do 2 trainings a day typically. So one before work, so in the morning, most often before breakfast, so I do a training, then breakfast, then work. So work also means rest for your body, because I work in IT, so I work in front of a computer. Then happens the second training, and then food and sleep. So also important part, because it's a rest. During weekends, I feel sometimes it differs, but during weekends I do, for example, some longer cycling or some running, sometimes 2 times a day. So for example, running and swimming, but it differs. Also, during winter, for example, I want to differentiate a little bit. So I do some skiing, I do some ski running. It's not like I'm really good at it, and I train, but it's just something else. So it's something else. And also, my training plan consists of running, cycling, and swimming. Also, I go for weight training to a gym once a week, and mostly that's it. What else I would like to add? That even we were talking that I'm good at running, I run the least possible number of runs per week. So because it's better to train less but have same results rather than train more, because there is higher risk of any injuries.
Especially in running, right?
Yeah, it is. And also, it's my experience. I think the resting after running is really something which takes the longest from other disciplines. You can do swimming 2 times a day, and it's like on the other day you will be okay. But if you run 2 times a day, every day, I could imagine that I could feel some pains.
Yeah, even once a day is enough for me.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
It's totally different for me than, let's say cycling.
Cycling
I
is
can
different
even
as well.
destroy myself cycling, and I will feel all right the next day. But if I run intervals, I go really, really hard, and I really feel that I'm really down.
Yeah.
And so when do you start with, let's say, like some interval training? Do you do that already in winter, that you have intervals, or is it more easy? Or?
I think after resting, there is still some intro to running, but then I think this year I started at the end of January, but it's also a question because it's when you plan your start. So for example, when I have this half marathon, something like end of March, so I think I started something like end of January to do some starts.
You said you are working in IT, so you have one training in the morning, then you work, then you have another training in the afternoon or evening. How do you balance work and friends, family, and everything connected with the sport?
For now, successfully. I think I'm experienced with that, so I wake up early. I have a schedule for that, so I could do everything. But you mentioned friends. I try from time to time. I combine it with these activities. But training is something also I can go for a weekend somewhere to my parents. I can go with friends, and I could take my bike with me, so it still works.
Yeah.
For sure, I can do more social life, but still, I think I'm okay with that. And of course, there are periods you are more focused on training. There are periods you are more focused on work. So still like this resting period in autumn, I'm more into maybe work, something. But also doing 2 trainings a day does not mean that they need to be 3 hours one.
Yeah.
For example, sometimes it's an hour and it's enough. I feel that especially during summer, I do long cycling. Not because this is my training plan. The trainer would say that it's too long, but I just do it because I enjoy it. And this is also something I not train only for the purpose of achieving goals. I also do it for enjoyment. So if I like going on a group cycling trips, I do.
You just
from time to time, but I do.
So that's also one of my questions of if you stick completely to the training plan you get from your coach, or if you just do sometimes what you would like to do, or hey, yeah, I'm going on a group ride, and instead of doing these exact intervals, I just go very hard with some other people at the hill.
So I'm really stick into this accents, like intervals, like something like that. Yeah, I'm stick. I try to. But I think I adjust a lot. So from time to time I go with a group, or I adjust because, for example, I can see that it's gonna rain today, so maybe I will switch those days if that's possible, because it makes more sense. I also adjust to the time I have basing on my work, that today I'm gonna work longer, so I can do only 1 hour of something. So I adjust. I would say I fly with it a lot. I freestyle a lot.
Okay, and what?
But also I would say, it's basing on how I feel. That when I feel today I can do something, I do. But when I feel that, it's more that my body wants something else, like something shorter, a rest or more sleep.
But would you also do more than, let's say, is on your training plan, or rather, you do that also?
I'm rather the one you do not need to motivate, rather stop.
Okay.
Rather stop, not to do too much, not to overtrain definitely.
Okay. And
not with the intensity, but with the duration.
And with the intensity, you would stick to what is.
Rather, yes, because before maybe not, but now I think I'm mature that I am looking for comfort, and this low intensity trainings are more comfortable. So I'm rather looking for that. I think before I had no stops that I couldn't do, running in the mountains, and where there were uphills, I just went into. But now I stop myself. I look at the heart rate, and so too fast.
Too fast, go easy, go easy.
Go easy.
Okay.
When I go on the group cycling, it's sometimes hard to stay in the right heart rate because there are uphills and people are, we should prove how good we are.
Now is the time to pull.
To do our personal best because we went for a coffee ride, so let's reach to the coffee
That's
the
the
quickest
definition
possible.
of a coffee ride.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I know that. I have one friend, it's always the same when I pick him up. The moment I pick him up, he's going full gas. And I can hold it. His full gas is not as fast as my full gas, but still for me it's like also not like very easy. But still, I'm behind him, so I'm also in his slipstream. So for me it's better. But then he's after like 20 kilometers, he's completely done.
It's something into this group gatherings that that's something happening that people turns on that we need to do so fast and everybody is so tired, and then when you reach to the coffee place you see that other colleagues are also as wasted as you are.
So now we were discussing about the sports side itself. How does this, what you do and learn through sports, also bring to your life? Do you see anything that it changed you, that it improved you in case of work or other areas?
So I think a lot because I would say it changed me, it crafted me as a person as well. Not the achievements, not the goals, but also. But I feel that the discipline, the training itself, trained me. How that when I want to achieve something, I need to be disciplined enough. I need to wake up. Sometimes people ask me, like, really, do you want to wake up so early to do so? To be honest, sometimes not. I do not want, but I do not ask myself in the morning, do I? Or maybe I just do. So this is one thing. But what taught me more, it's not only, even not like the achievements, the training, but also these injuries and this like stuff I did, because it trained me how to be humble. That, for example, like, you did a lot, but you didn't achieve what you wanted. And you need to take it, you need to accept it. It just happened. It's sport. Maybe you know that you did your best, you did everything possible basing on your knowledge, that time, but something didn't work. And you just need to accept it and let it go. And I think that now I can talk about it, but there were times that it was hard to accept, because that time you see other people running and you couldn't. And you only see that you could not because of some reasons, and you need to accept. And then some magic happens, because the next day when you could run, you appreciate every single step, you appreciate every kilometer, and then you respect every kilometer, because before it was like, I can do a lot, so what is it? 5K, 6K, 7K, but then you appreciate every kilometer, and it's nice to have it. Also, in other disciplines that you may say that it's easy, but there may be a day when it's not easy, and I learned it.
I totally feel the same. For me, for example, when I trained now for the Ironman, and I felt that I have such a good shape I was doing my intervals like so fast, like never before. I was doing like 4-minute pace, which for me is like very fast in 10-minute like duration.
Yeah.
And like my heart rate was like very, very low. And I didn't feel that it's like super, super, super hard for me. And I thought like, okay, yeah, this time it will be so good. For sure, I will be under 11 hours, perhaps very close to 10 hours. And then, yeah, I had to walk the entire marathon, basically like 27 kilometers or something like that I had to walk of the marathon. And yeah, it makes someone really, really humble because you put in so much time, so much effort, and you are so emotional, but then you understand, okay, yeah, it's just how it is, be humble and then continue. And that's, I liked it a lot because I think it makes me better as a person, because otherwise, if I wouldn't have this experience, I perhaps would tend to think that, oh, I'm so good, I'm so great, I'm always so good because I just train and have good intervals, or I do like a fast 5K or fast 10K. But that really made me very humble. So I liked it a lot as well.
So yeah, so you have the learning from Ironman this year.
Oh yeah, I hope I will not have a learning like that again. But yeah, it's for my mind, it's really good. It helps me a lot for sure. So this struggling helps me a lot. Awesome. So last question for you: what are your plans and goals for the future?
I'm satisfied with the results from this year. I think I achieved my goals, and also I feel that it would be hard for me to force myself to participate in a competition and really do my best, because I'm mentally not into. But my last plan I know for this year, it's cycling competition. Actually, these are World Championships, amateurs one, so easy. But they are happening in October, so it's still a month. It's something I would try to do my best. I'm not cycling so much into cycling. I like it, but I can compete in triathlon as well as running. But cycling, it's still, comparing to others, I could be better, but I would try to do my best. And every time the goal is not only when cycling is to do it safely without any accidents, and of course to do the best results. So this is my plan. Thinking of course about the competition, but the first and the most important goal is the training itself. So I just keep going. I enjoy everyday training, and yeah, I do not need big goals for that.
Okay, I see. Thank you so much, Olga. For sure, you are a great inspiration for other people, especially for women, in my opinion. And I hope that, I am even sure that if someone is listening to this, he or she will take great inspiration for that. I wish you a lot of success, a lot of health, and that you can continue training and doing what you love until the end.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.